Om Vakratunda Mahakaya
Mahakaya
Surya Koti
Koti
Samaprabha
Samaprabha
Nirvignam Kuru
Nirvighனம்
Me
Kuru Me
Deva
Deva
Sarvakaryeshu
Sarvakaryeshu
Sarvada
Sarvada
Saraswati
Saraswati
Namastubhyam
Namastubhyam
Varade
Varade
Kamarupini
Kamarupini
Vidyarambham
Vidyarambham
Karishyami
Karishyami
Siddhir Bhavatu Me
Siddhir
Sada
Me Sada
Gurur
Guru
Brahma
Brahma
Gurur
Guru
Vishnu
Vishnu
Gurur Devo
Gurudevo
Maheshwaraha
Maheshwaraha
Guru
Guru
Sakshat
Sakshat
Param
Param
Brahma
Brahma
Tasmai
Tasmai
Shri
Shri
Gurave
Gurave
Namaha
Namaha
Om Sahana
Om Sahana
Bhavatu
Vavatu
Sahano
Sahana
Bhunaktu
Bhunaktu
Sahiryam
Sahaviryam
Karavavahe
Karavavahe
Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma
Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma
vidvishavahe
vidvishavahe
Om
Om
Shanti
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 Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
Atha Tritiyodhyayaha
Atha Tritiyodhyayaha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Shloka number 35 Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha
Shreyan Svadhammo Vigunaha
Paradharmat Svanushtitat
Paradharmat Svanushthitat
Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha
Svadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha
Paradharmo Bhayavaha
Paradharmo Bhayavaha
Swadharmanushtanam Swadharme Nidhanam Api Shreyaha Bhavati. So Dharma Anushtanam Swadharma Anushtanam. Observing one's own dharma. When one does his duty, the others gets a privilege because there is interdependency. Similarly, when others do their duty, we get the privilege. In that way, they are interconnected. Therefore, our society, Vedic society, was a duty-bound society. There is no compromise on performing one's duty, one's karma, swadharma. Therefore, there is no demand in duty. Duty is either done or not done. In the concept of duty, there is no demand whatsoever. Whereas when one's rights are emphasized, there is always an element of demand. When you want to claim your rights, that's a demand. You demand your rights. And whenever there is demand, there are denials and counter demands, the natural results of demanding. This is because no one has a right to demand when he or she has not fulfilled the demands of the other person. The demands of the other person are fulfilled by you performing your dharma, duties. Your duty, you performing duty, others enjoy the privilege. Others performing their duty, you enjoy the privilege. Therefore, you don't have the right to demand when you don't perform your dharma. When did you write to me that I should write back to you? When did you take me out that I should take you out? When did you phone me that I should phone you? Why didn't you visit me when I was ill? Why should I visit you now that you are ill? Demands. Demand means there is always a friction in the form of counter demand or denial. There is friction. We see this in our homes and in the society in which we live. Daily life is nothing but demands. There is demand from the family members, there is demand from The neighbor demand from the society, demand from the employer. Of course, demand is there. Therefore, he employed you. So demand, we see demands. So daily life is nothing but demands and more demands. When people are always demanding, the society will naturally be a demanding one. So everybody will demand, but who does? Who will do? We can see this by reading the newspaper columns. Everything is one continuous demand. Even groups are demanding. Teachers, nurses, doctors, patients, ethnic groups, males, females, states, and so on. The gods also seem to have become demanding. They see, unless you remember us, no rain for you. Unless you remember and perform this karma, then there is no rain for you. If you don't remember us, bang, an earthquake. So when you have duties, you will find that there is amity. And because you can never fulfill your duties completely, there is also humility. But if each person at least tries his best to fulfill his or her duties as father and son, or husband and wife, for example, they will meet somewhere. And so, doing understanding is possible. Otherwise, there are problems. That's why dharma is manava dharma or manushya dharma, the dharma of a human being. Can there be any other basis for our interaction with each other that will benefit us all? People are to live together at home, in a community, in a society, or globally. This is the only way. There is no other way. Therefore, our Shastra goes even further and tells us to take into account all the forces. Cosmically speaking, also, then there is only one way: appreciating one's position, one's situation, one's station, seeing what is to be done and doing it. Following one's dharma, swadharma anushtana, is this way and not that of someone else. It's the very basis of karma yoga. Swakarma anushtanam, swakarmana tam ishwaram abhyarchya. So that society is the same society where everyone performs one's karma, one's duty. If everyone performs paradharma, then then what happens? Then there will be confusion. There will be confusion, and there will be that will be a society where people taking a others dharma and doing, and therefore demands will be there. Demands will increase. Either you are not doing is you're denying the privilege. So not doing your karma, doing paradharma, in addition to creating confusion in the society, that will cause a disturbance because you have neglected your duty. So others will be denied of that privilege. Privilege of the right to. So only when you do, others get the right. So when you don't do what you're supposed to do, the others will be denied of the rights, the privilege of right. And also confusion will be there. That is why bayam avaganti. It brings fear, brings conflicts, brings confusion, it brings distortion. So therefore, that doesn't take us anywhere. Neither keeps us happy and comfortable here nor hereafter. Because not doing one's dharma is also it's also papam. Therefore, it doesn't take us anywhere. Neither we achieve dharmartha kama purushartha here. Our material really the material ends are also not fulfilled. And also out of question the moksha is. Moksha is out of question. Moksha means the very sadhanam karma yoga, which is observing one's duty. For moksha, the parampara karanam karma yoga, even though it is parampara, but it is that emphasis on karma yoga is much because without which chitta shuddhi is not possible. Therefore, for chitta shuddhyartam, even though the karma what one does, one may not like, still to be done, has to be done. In that process, all your sharp edges are all the sharp corners are chiseled. So you develop titiksha. You develop titiksha, you develop sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, sukha, dukkha, all pairs of dvandvas you put up with. And your shraddha in the shastram, therefore you follow what to be done, what the commandments of the shastram. So therefore, doing involves viveka, therefore viveka also, and doing it objectively, therefore vairagya also. So therefore, karma yoga is swadharmanushtanam. That's why it's so uparamaha. Uparati is swadharmanushtanam. Shatka, Shamadi Shatka Sampati, Shamaha, Damaha, Uparati, Uparati, Swadharmanushtanam. One meaning is Swadharmanushtanam. Other meaning is Tyaga. Sannyasa, other meaning. Another meaning is Uparati, he means that's the sense organs and the mind which are withdrawn. That should be retained in that state. Continuously. That is called Uparati, another meaning. But Swadharmanushtanam meaning is so Swadharmanushtanam as a whole is the result that sadhana shuddha sampatti, which is indispensable for a mukshu to have access to jnanam. Therefore, karma is emphasized. Even from the materialistic standpoint, it is important, and much more from the spiritual standpoint, moksha standpoint. So Swadharmanushtanam is the basis of karma yoga. Therefore, karma yoga means what? Swadharmanushtanam. So Swadharma, setting aside one's raga desha, doing what is to be done. That is karma yoga. So there are definitions. Many ways the karma yoga can be looked upon. Samatvam yoga uchyate, yoga karmasu kaushalam. And it is panchamaha yajna, to neutralize the papam what we earn every day. Papam what we commit inadvertently, that those papam have to be neutralized. Otherwise that will manifest as durita. So therefore panchamaha yajna, that is karma yoga. Following the injunctions of the Shastram and therefore of the Lord, that is karma yoga, doing what is to be done. Sakarmana. Sakarma. Therefore, all these are the aspects, the various aspects of karma yoga. The karma yoga can be looked at various perspective. And the shloka, what we said, 38th shloka, summarizing the karma yoga. The 30th shloka. Now we are in 35th shloka. Just few shlokas before 30th shloka, we saw that Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa nirashihi nirmamo bhutva yudyasva. Yudyasva is purushva, karma purushva, vigata jvaraha, free from the conflict. What is the jvaraha? The conflicts. Free from any conflict. Happily doing one's own dharma. Free from conflicts. Not doing paradharma and getting into the conflicts. Vigata jvaraha, nirashihi. No asha, no acts, no acts to gain. Therefore, nirashihi, nirmamaha bhutva, yudyasva karma kurushva, swadharmanashtanam kurushva. Okay, then having said this, now here Arjuna asked question and Bhagavan will answer. This is regard to the statement of Bhagavan. Prakritim yanti bhutani, nigrahakam karishyati. Beings act in keeping with one sabhava, raga dvesha. Now, why? What makes them do? What makes them do? Even though they don't want to, but why people commit papa? That is the question here. Let us read this. Having said all this, Krishna might have become quiet, whereupon Arjuna asked a question. Propelled by what? Human beings commit papa. That is a question. Because they helplessly, nigraha kim karishyati. What is the use of restraint? There is therefore some sort of helplessness is there. Bhagavan said, Prakritim, with regard to the thoughts, there is helplessness. You can do anything. So, Similarly, helplessly, what make them commit papam? That is the question is asked here. Let us read. Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
Atakena Prayuktoyam
अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयम्
Papam Charati Purushaha
पापं चरति पूरुषः
Anichannapi Varishneya
अनिच्छिन्नभिवाष्णेय
Paladiva Niyojitaha
फलादिव नियोजितः
Varshneya, Evarshneya, Sambodhana. Vrishnikulodbhavaha, Vrishnikula, the one who is born the Vrishnikula. Varshneya. Atha, Atha is Prashnartha, question, therefore Atha. Atha is Mangala Shabda also. Tato Brahma Jignasa, Omkarascha, Omkaraschatascha, this Dvavetu, Brahmanav Puras, Kantam Vitva Viniryatam, Viniryato, Tasman Mangalika Bhavu, Omkarascha, Atascha. These two Shabdas are Mangala, Suchaka Shabda. That is why Atha. But here his Atha is not in that sense, it is Prashna. Atha. Atha. Kena Prayuktaha Ayam Purushaha. Purushaha eva Purushaha. Purushaha becomes Purushaha, person. Manushyaha, Naraha. Papam Charati commits papam by propelled by what? Kena Prayuktaha, impelled by what? Stimulated by what? Anichannapi. Anishan is Shatranta, present participle. Even though not desiring, as though impelled by some force, pushed by some force. Niyojitaha, pushed. Arjuna said, impelled by what? Does a person commit papam? As though pushed by some force, even though not desiring to. O Vashneya, pushed by what? Prakritim yanti bhutani inagraha kim karishyati. Raga dveshas are there. But what makes the raga dveshas? Raga dveshas, it is put into action. Raga dvesha is converted into action. Raga dveshas are there. But what makes the raga dvesha manifest through our action? If the action what we do is in keeping with dharma, then there is no problem. We don't complain about raga dvesha. But most of the time it is not. Therefore, raga dvesha. And this raga dveshas, by propelled by what this person does, raga dvesha is there, okay? And the raga dvesha is raga meaning kama, dvesha meaning that is also another form of kama only, desire. And these are born of rajoguna. That's what Bhagavan is going to say. So this raga and dvesha, when it is actuated by, when it is driven by rajoguna, then the person commits papa. Raga dveshas are there even in jnanis, but that doesn't cause any problem for them. Whereas raga dvesha causes problem for ajnani, because it is actuated by the ajnanam, that is rajoguna. Therefore, they make the raga dvesha, raga dvesha manifest in that action. That is, raga dvesha finds their way through their action. It manifests in their action. So what the action they do, that is in keeping with the raga and dvesha. Raga for that which should not be done, and dvesha for that which should be done. Therefore, what papam? We do papam. So propelled by what? That is the question. An answer is going to be given. Propelled by what? Propelled by rajoguna. Rajas. Rajas only makes the Raga Dvesha active. If Sattva is there, Sattva will not make Raga Dvesha active. It will, Sattva meaning knowledge. Therefore, it will supersede Raga Dvesha. Raga Dvesha will be kept under check. It will be only at the thought level. It is helplessly there. Let it be there, but it doesn't cause any problem. It is only at the thought level. Therefore, by Viveka, it can be dismissed, not allowing them to actualize through our action. That is what an intelligent person, Jnanis, do, a Dharmika Purusha does. Whereas Ajnani is bombarded by desires and therefore driven by Raga Dvesha. Raga Dvesha gets activated, gets life through Rajoguna. They commit path. So that is the discussion here. Now the question is asked. The answer is going to be given by the Lord that it is Rajoguna which activates the Raga Dvesha, because of which a person commits papa. Now the question is, impelled by what? Atakkena prayuktoyam purushaha papam charati. A man commits papam. Even though he doesn't want to papam, but something forces him. What is that? Previously, it was pointed out that there are likes and dislikes. Raga Dvesha with reference to every object. Indriyasi indriyasarte Raga Dvesha vyavastitau. How it is there, we cannot ask. It is there. It is there is a fact. You cannot deny the fact. It is there. Acceptance. And all you have to do is not fall under the spell. You have choice. Tayoga vasham na agache tauhi asya paripantino, we have seen. It was also said that even though one swadharma, what one must do is not very pleasant. It is better to follow that than to follow something else that is more pleasing and convenient. So if one's swadharma is unpleasant, even though you are dvesha for it, but it should be done. Not for doing that which is convenient, that which is pleasant. Not acting with raga and dvesha. Therefore, that's what tayorna vasham agachit. Because you have choice in doing it, therefore, don't do actuated by raga dvesha. Don't come under this spell. Hearing all of this in terms of karma yoga, now Arjuna asks, what is that impulse a person to perform an action that he or she knows it's not proper, it's not legitimate, not dharma? Some kind of pleasure may be there, but still the person knows that the action is not becoming and it will produce dukkham, papa. Dukkham. Papa means dukkham. What is the karanam for dukkha? Dukkanabhavam papam. And sukhanabhavam punyam. Punyam gives pleasure, sukham gives papam. So sukha papa is a result. It's a result of our own karma. So if the person did not know, of course it would be different and understandable. Why does a person do a karma that he or she knows to be an improper action? Kena prayuktaha papam charati purushaha. Impelled by whom or what? Kena. By what or whom? Does he or she do this action? Posing this question, Arjuna addressed Krishna here as Vashneya Vrishti Kulodbhava, who is born in the family of Vrishnis. Arjuna described such a person as one who is as though ever impelled, prayuktaha, pushed into performing papa karma, improper actions by some force, balat, niyojitaha, propelled by, forcefully, niyojita, implying a devilish force. That is why it is called as Satan. So they give a name, and therefore they consider that also is equivalent to that of the divine force, divine and devil. But anyway, there is no, it is the devil force. It is when it is made to manifest, then become devilish. It has been conquered by one's divinity. Further, the person is pushed into it, even though he or she doesn't want to do it, helplessly. So helplessly the person does. Therefore, only this is the person just passes the buck to saying that it's a devilish force. Satan acted through me. It's not Satan or other thing. It is a person. It's Raga Dvesha. Propelled by Raga Dvesha, he acted. Instead of owning it, instead of taking responsibility, instead of taking charge of it, it just passes the buck to some unseen force, devilish force. And divine force also unseen. This force also unseen. The two equivalent forces fighting each other. That is the theology of many religions. But there is no such thing. It is once one Raga Dvesha. The person knows it is not right, anichan, not desiring. He knows very well it is not desirable, meaning that he or she doesn't have any intellectual value for performing such action. But still it is done. Why? Impelled by whom or what? Kena prayuktaha. This was Arjuna's question. Duryodhana was asked, yes, another interesting thing here. Why do you do all this papa karma? When Duryodhana was asked, Duryodhana known for his action, which are adharmika, which are papa. You come from a good family, having been brought so well. You are a prince. What impulse you do to do such things? You have done all the that the fivefold that the karma is called atatai. The fivefold karma, which the fivefold crimes. Uh, yeah, that one who does it's called atatai. Duryodhana is an atatai. Atatai means the person who has committed uh, the fivefold or sixfold. Agnido Garadas Chaiva, Shlokam is there. Shatrapani Dhanapaka, Kshetragara, Shadete, sixfold, that's right, sorry, sixfold crimes. The shloka is Agnidaha, Garadaha, Shatrapanihi, Dhanapagaha, Kshetrartha, and Darahartha. Shadete, he Atatayinaha. The one was committed sixfold crimes, not fivefold. Agnidaha means killing a person by fire. Garadaha, killing a person by poisoning. Then the third crime is when the opponent is without enemies, without weapons, killing them. Like when the person is sleeping or when the person doesn't have a weapon. Even in the Yuddha, you should not battle, you should not fight with the person who doesn't have a weapon. So therefore that is done. And Dhanapaga, robbing the other people's wealth. And Duryodhana had done that. He had robbed Pandava's wealth. Of course, land also, Kshetra, Artha, and Dara Artha, and wife of the other person, one who does the sixfold crimes, that person is called Atatai. So Duryodhana has done all this. Atatai, therefore he is an Atatai. So why do you do such things? If it is when it is asked, then he says, in a verse attributed to him, Duryodhana responded, Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. Janami adharmam nachame nivritti. I know what is right. Aham janami dharmam janami. Duryodhana is also has undergone Gurukula Vasa. Therefore, he knows what is dharma, what is adharma. Agam janami. I know what is dharma. Similarly, I know what is adharma, what is improper. Janami dharmam. Nachame pravrittihi. But I don't perform karma in keeping with dharma. Janami adharmam. I know what is adharma. But nachame pravrittihi. I don't refrain from doing it. So, both I know. Dharma, adharma, I know. Kenapi devena hridistitena yata niyuktosmi tata karomi, he says. Bhagavad itself, the shloka is there as spoken by Duryodhana. Kenapi devena hridistitena, so some force sitting in my heart, propelled by which I do all this, he says. But what is that, the force which sitting inside the heart and doing? It is this, the Raga Dvesha activated through Rajas. Raga Dvesha is allowed. It is Raga Dvesha is gets activated by the Rajoguna. So Rajas responsible for karma, action. Sattva stands for knowledge. So therefore, a sattvika person, he will not be impelled by ragadvesha. He's a thinking person, sattvika purusha. But for the person who is rajas, who is active, is interested in doing, and also is interested in doing one and interested in gain pleasures. So therefore, that person, and that if a person is adharmika, then ragadvesha, propelled by the rajoguna, dominant by this rajoguna, what will happen? It will make a person an adharmika purusha, commit himself, make himself do papa karma. Though very well he knows, he still will commit papam. As Duryodhana himself says, Kenapi, Devena, some force sitting inside me. What is that force? It is Rajoguna. Ragadvesha, backed up by Rajoguna, makes him commit all heinous crimes, all the sixfold crimes. Therefore he says, Janami dharmam. I know what is right. I also know what is not right. Janami adharmam api. My problem is not that I have innocence or confusion with reference to what is right and wrong. That also he says. I know what is right, what is wrong. So Viveka is that, but what is the use of that Viveka? The problem is that I know Dharma, but I don't pursue it. Nachame Pravrittihi. And I know what the adharma is, but I cannot refrain from it. Nachame Nivrittihi. This is what Bhagavan Krishna said. Prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. How nigraha, how restraint is possible? Restraint is not possible for at least for Arjuna, for Duryodhana it is not possible because Ragadveshas are Ragadveshas completely sway this person, completely overpowers this person. This person also as Rajoguna. So therefore Ragadvesha and Rajoguna both favors him to commit papa. Ragadvesha and Sattvaguna. When Sattvaguna dominates, Ragadvesha will not overpower the person. Now, Ragadvesha overpower the person, overpowered by that person commits papa means that Ragadvesha with Rajoguna makes him perform. Though knowing very well, he performs papa karma. Then Duryodhana went on to say, whichever way I am propelled by the one sitting in my heart, kenapi hridistitena devena. In that way, kenapi devena hridistitena yata niyuktosmi tata karmi, as it dictates, as it commands. What commands? Ragadvesha commands. Commanded by Ragadvesha. I do it. Rajoguna is there. Therefore, Rajoguna, backed up by Rajoguna, the Raga and Dvesha dictates, accordingly I do. That is the Kenapi Devena. It is not something alien, a new, a different force sitting inside and doing it. It is one's own Raga Dvesha. It may have been a person or a force, but Duryodhana did not know who or what it is. He doesn't know what it is. Then thus Duryodhana Arjuna are the same question. Therefore, both are the same question. Who or what is it that is sitting in the mind, forcing the person to do what he or she knows to be wrong, even though the person doesn't want to do it. So this is a shloka from Mahabharata. Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. Janami adharmam nachame nivritti. Kenapi devena hridistena. Yatha niyuktosmi tata karomi. Propelled by what? I do it. Then as an answer to this question comes the Bhagavan Krishna's here. Kamagesha, Krodhagesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. This Kama, Krodha is nothing but the Kama obstructed becomes Krodha. They are actuated by Rajoguna. They will see this in the next class. Om Purnamadas Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.